what are you nerding out about now?
All right, Joseph. Again, you got first space, first spot, first something.
And to the shock of no one, I'm going to talk about an anime called Tower of God. Now, did you want to play your game where you try to figure out what it is before I let you know?
Sure. So,
Go for it.
Tower of God. That one's fairly straightforward so far. I am thinking it's some kind of battle royale through a tower at different levels, get harder to get up to something, not to get to God, not to get to heaven, although it could be. But I'm thinking it's actually like a fighting level thing to where you can get free, and that God or something they put it there. The gods have a prize, something. That's what I'm thinking. Tower of God is.
Okay. Apparently, Civilian doesn't like this one. A lot of times, Civilian and I, our tastes are very similar, but this is not one that he likes. So it's getting a new season, so I rewatched season 1. Tower of God is an anime where I guess I'll preface by saying there's a character in this that is probably among the top 5 most hated characters in anime, period. Up there with the character from Full Metal Alchemist that everyone hates. You should get that reference, Charles. So up there. And so
I don't like that one.
What the tower is, the Tower of God, is it's a tower that you have to ascend, and it's got trials throughout the entire thing to move up to the higher levels. And if you make it to the top, supposedly you get a wish granted. So the main...
No, that was close, actually.
Yeah. The main character, he is what's called an irregular, because most people are invited to climb the tower to begin these trials. He just showed up. And he's actually following someone else. He's got a friend who is trying to reach the top specifically to see the stars. She wants to make it to the top, see the stars. And so he just wants to be with his friend. So he is climbing the tower too to see his friend. But in order to climb the tower, he's got to do some serious growing in strength and whatnot. And he's very naive, because he doesn't have basically any experiences, because he has amnesia. He doesn't have any memory before meeting the friend that he's chasing. And so it is, I really like it. I do. Civilian does not. That's okay. We can have a difference of opinion, Civilian. We can still be friends.
No, you can't.
But I will admit, though, the first season very much feels like a setup, a prologue for the rest of it. So I'm happy that that the new season is coming out here later this year. And it's actually one of I've watched a few of them now, but it's an anime that's based off of a South Korean manhwa. So instead of a manga, which would be Japanese, it's a South Korean based one. And it's very good. It's a Crunchyroll original, and the animation style is very different than almost any other anime that I've watched, but I really liked it. I ended up liking it quite a bit. My biggest problem with it is it doesn't answer a lot of the questions about the world in general. So it's very lacking.
So it doesn't give
in
you
world
42.
building. No, it does not. It doesn't give you 42 at all. And so, yeah, it's the animation for him. So like I said, it's very different from most.
I haven't seen this one, but I can agree that the animation can make or break a show for me.
Yes, it definitely can. And the animation for this is very different from most anime. But I liked it. So, there's that. But yeah, no, it's very good. If you wanted to try it, I would try the first episode, and if you don't like it, I would just
You'd
drop
watch
it.
the first episode first?
Well, I'm saying try one episode, and if you don't like it, don't bother. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying if you don't like it, you bother all the way through just to make sure you don't like it.
So there's other anime where I will tell you, if you're not willing to give it at least 10 episodes, then don't even try it. But with this
That's
one,
a lot of episodes to get hooked in. 3 is usually my max.
You and I were talking about Steins Gate before this started.
Yeah.
It's very weird at the beginning. And a lot of people drop it at the beginning.
But
if you don't give it at least 10 episodes, yes.
That's a lot. We'll see. Here's the thing, though. But Steins Gate comes highly recommended from you, from other people. And then, of course, the video you saw, the way the guy presented it, and then show off some clips, and he talks about the high points.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of recommendation makes you go, okay, let me look more into it. But 10, I mean, I'll see what I see, right? When I get to it, I'll let you know, of course.
It has a very slow start. Very slow and very weird.
Huge ask.
It is
30-minute.
Yeah.
So
I think there's 24. I think there's 24 episodes in that season 1.
You shouldn't take 5 hours to capture your audience.
But once it hits that like 10th or 11th episode, a switch is going to get flicked, and you are going to want to binge the entire rest of it. Like, you won't want to stop.
What's going to happen? I am going to obviously, I mean, it's on my list anyway. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to come back and tell you if Joe was right or wrong, or just give a little bit more depth to that analysis of how many you should give it, type of deal.
And I will. I'll say this: I enjoyed Steins Gate more the second time I watched it than the first time, because I knew what to look for. Because anything with time travel, there's tons of stuff you're not going to catch on the first watch through. And so.
Yeah. What else did I watch recently that man, I cannot remember what it was, because people watch it, this is exactly like that. It's like you watch it like, oh my God, you'll never see the twist. And then you want to watch it again, knowing the twist to see where the clues are. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's every once in a while there's a good show like that. I have found with anime that I am very much into there's 3 streams that I'm into. One is I'm very much, you tell me what this is in the title. And I've tried other things. I finished up Solo Leveling. I finished up something else I was watching on Netflix. Like, you know what? Netflix is my easy go-to. Let me search Demon Slayer, because it's already on here, but it'll tell me other shows like Demon Slayer, which are never like Demon Slayer. There's nothing like Demon Slayer out there. But I mean, the right animation, the way it's drawn, the way it's the writing, the acting, and the storyline, that combination, there's nothing out there like Demon Slayer. But I tried a few of them. I don't remember what they all were. I tried at least 3 of them. One of them was, you had talked about, you and Kelsey watched the Delicious in Dungeon, whatever it was.
Just wrapped up the season finale.
Yeah, I couldn't finish the first episode.
Oh,
but
it's not for everybody.
One. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I'm not nitpicking. I'm not saying, well, this was. It very much was just the TV I don't like. It's like, here's a cooking show. Now I get it. If I really was into that, like Zelda, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, I don't cook at all. That's my wife. She will play all day while I'm at work, and she will hunt and gather and cook, and I'll come back and she'll go, okay, go slay everybody to get me to the next level. And I'll have rows and rows and rows of food, because I just don't like that part of it. All right, Black Lagoon, I'll write that down. But there was nothing wrong with it. And you said I probably wouldn't or might not like it. But the animation was good. The title was to the point, but it lacked just that me caring part of it. And it was, I mean, when he fixed the 3rd or 4th dish in a row, and it's like the thing, it's very much that TV, HD TV, here's how we make this. It's like, yeah, not for me. I bumped out. There were some others that were not to the point, so I can't remember their names. But I read the description, like, okay, this sounds interesting. Couldn't get through the first episode. So I'm very much give it to me in the title. Solo Leveling, loved it. Right? Demon Slayer, loved it. My Hero Academia, loved it. Yeah, I'm still working on season 2.
So you haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
I think I have. So it's just going to get better from here.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. My Hero Academia is fantastic.
Hell's Paradise is what I'm watching on Netflix right now. That's the one I'm nerding out about. I'm about to start 5th episode. Not an anime that's directly in the title. Now, Joe, you went and looked it up. I'm sure you already read the synopsis on it. So you can't. I'm just saying that you're unqualified to play the guessing game of what Hell's Paradise is about. Or do you?
I didn't read it. I didn't read
okay.
the synopsis.
All right, play the game.
So.
One Piece. I started watching the real life one real quick. One Piece is a goat of anime. I watched the first half of the first episode of live action. I love the actors in it, and honestly, the parts I saw looked fantastic. I just couldn't care. Sorry.
I'm gonna get judged for this, but I watched maybe the first 15 episodes of One Piece, and I dropped it. It was okay.
I can see why people love it. I absolutely can see it. But yeah.
So Hell's Paradise. Clearly it is about the devil really taking offense with the bad reputation of hell, so he is reforming it into a hot spring resort and turning it into a paradise. Yep, that's it.
That's close, but that's a different Netflix animation that is on right now called Hell's Hotel, Hellfire Hotel, or something like that. Close. No, so not at all, right? The artwork is 50-50 for me. 50% is fantastic, but the other is 50% is very anime of just weird shaping monsters and just odd things going on, which is not usually my style. So that's 2 strikes against this anime for me, right? However, I have found in trial and error and doing all these things, right? Watching all these different ones and trying them. The second vein I fall into. So the first one is directing the title. I like that. But is exactly why you recommended Demon Slayer. The redemption arc. That hook of completing some mission and being part of something bigger. It doesn't necessarily have to be redemption, although that really is like Solo Leveling was kind of like that. Although Solo Leveling was partially redemption, but really the other part of it too is being a part of something bigger than yourself. And move on. That's why I like the Final Fantasy series, because you're always the chosen one for some reason, but there's no prophecies. There's no reason. You're just, hey, I'm this teenager going, but you're part of something bigger. You build this team. So I do so that is absolutely what I'm loving about Hell's Paradise. If I remember the Netflix description correctly, it's an assassin and other criminals are sent to paradise or the other side to get the elixir of life. They're all condemned. Lots of violence. So it does say it's MA for nudity and for sex. I was telling Joe in the pre-show, the nudity and sex is very Japanese, as in the best. I finally got to it. I rambled a lot in the pre-show, but
you've only watched 4 episodes, right?
Correct.
So there might be more explicit stuff later.
There could be. Yes, sir. There could be.
And just as a heads up for parents, a good resource, if you just Google IMDb Parents Guide and then the title of whatever you're looking for, almost always the first link is the IMDb Parents Guide, and it's user submitted feedback on different categories of things on how explicit things in gore and language and nudity in all of that. And so I've used that quite a bit when my kids are asking to watch something that I'm not sure about, that I haven't personally watched. I'll go to IMDb's Parents Guide and look to see what the comments are there to see if it's something I want to let my kids try.
Good. And that, if you listen to Patreon, that's where I tell him, shut up, save it for the show. So he did. There's the show. So yeah, I was explaining it to Joe, because I wanted to explain, because Joe said, oh, it's recommended to me, I might like it. So, okay, here's the deal. You will definitely enjoy the story, Joe. You will definitely enjoy the characters and even the violence. You know, it's fairly bloody, but it's no more bloody than anything else. I mean, it's definitely, we've watched stuff.
Demon Slayer.
Not literally together, but yeah. The best I can qualify is so far, the nudity has been like cosplay, if you will, like a sheer bodysuit, that's what I mean by very Japanese or Asian
Mystique.
Culture. It is, yeah, they're naked. They're obviously naked, and you wouldn't want your kids watching it. And you probably wouldn't want somebody, if you're at work, to walk in behind you and go, what are you watching? But it's very clearly not genitalia. It's not graphic. That's where the almost body
like
suit,
Attack on Titan. Have you seen pictures of the Titans?
What? I ran away. I will not watch that. It looks horrible.
They're like Ken dolls, the Titans.
Yeah, it's like that. And it's so far it's semi-relevant to the process of the story, as is the so far. So you're right, Joe. There might be some more graphic stuff coming up as far as sexual content, because it'd be like Miranda sexual. I can't say it's sexual. You still need to watch Miranda. You got Hulu? Go watch Miranda.
Hulu.
That needs, if that's not your nerding out next week, I'm coming to your house and taking the slushies back. But the adult content, if you will, has also made sense. It's not been moments of adult time. It's been a little bit of some allusions to either crimes or there's some ninjas, and part of the ninja way is seduction. And apparently, I just learned that in this episode.
I didn't realize you were a ninja.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yes, every time I walk in a room and scare somebody, I tell them I'm the biggest ninja you'll never meet. So
you'll never meet.
Yeah.
Because
most
he doesn't like people.
Most people don't catch that, but I say it that way every time. I'm the biggest ninja you'll never meet. But yes, it's a slow run for me. Like Solo Leveling was back to back. Let me watch it. Other anime has been that way. Other shows have been that way. This one, I think it's I don't want to ruin any of it, but I'm starting to discover possibly why it's called Hell's Paradise, but you're discovering it along with the thing. Have you seen Annihilation?
No.
It's a movie. It's a movie with Natalie Portman. You just kind of Google a review on that. So here's the thing: I liked and also disliked Annihilation at the same time because it was weird. There was things that weren't explained. Things were mutating, and there is that in this. So the first 2 episodes are very straightforward because they're in feudal Japan, somewhere feudal, generic fantasy Asia. Okay, I realize what it is. You've got ninjas. You've got a samurai clan that tests swords and executes people, and you've got all the stuff, and they're supposed to go to the other side, which is literally a place that they found that was all a legend, but you can actually get there somehow by boat, and everybody they send there keeps dying. And when they come, if 1 or 2 bodies get sent back, they are weird and they do all this weird stuff. Don't like it, but that's where they go. So once you get into the other side, that's where it's like not quite my style, like bugs with human faces and just weirdness, but I'm enjoying it enough because I want to see how this mission completes. I want to see how they get to their story. I want to see the story arc of the main character and the main sidekick with the character. Really, it's not a sidekick. She's a shogun or whatever, trying to make sure he does right. But yeah, that Hell's Paradise right now. So
okay, so you're liking it.
I'm liking it. Yes, I'm not going, oh my God, this is Demon Slayer. That's why. Yes, though. Yes, it's not on point with the title. Well, maybe it is. We don't know. We haven't seen the final episode, but it's not like Solo Leveling, where it's right there and you kind of figure it out. But at the same time, you're learning with every other human character in the show what's going on too, which is kind of that Annihilation feel of your fault. We don't know what's going on. It's just this weird random thing. I like being uncomfortable in specific ways, and just not understanding quite why stuff's going on is not one of those ways.